reads, "We present this Kansas City Fan Appreciation Award to Lee Falk for a lifetime achievement as the creator of Mandrake the Magician and the Phantom." Our thanks for 60 years of great stories. Best wishes for the next 60. From the KC Comic Book Club, spring of '94.
Thank you, Francisco. I was very touched by your story. Sorry. It kind of moved me. There was one other story from Italy around World War II, kind of just long before your time. And which I heard about afterwards. I met this young man, he was with the Italian airline. He told me that during the invasion of Italy by the Americans, we bombed, and his home and his people were all destroyed. He survived, a little kid. And all he had in the, this is a true story, all he had in the, I don't want to move about this. All he had in the cellar of his house were some old comic books, The Phantom and Mandrake. He had some relatives in another town. He was starving. He managed to get these books out of the cellar of the bombed house, and somehow he sold them. Who he sold them to, I have no idea. He got enough money to get to see his people, saved his life, and your story kind of brought that back. Well, enough of that sad business. I was talking to Mike. He asked me what I thought about signing all his autographs. I told him I loved it, because all of us who are in this business, we work in isolation. And you wonder if anybody reads what we're doing. In New York, my stuff runs there in Spanish, but I don't see it because I go to Boston, what have you. And coming here and having these people come and wanting autographs, adults, kids, I talk to each one, find out what they do. It really is inspiring and refreshes you that here are people who actually read what you're doing. And I find it marvelously moving. I enjoy being here, and you're a wonderful gang. I'm not a humorist. I enjoy the laughter. I have one joke in The Phantom, which I use about every 10 years. This is the joke. It takes a little time to tell. As you all know, The Phantom is the 21st generation of many Phantoms and so forth. But many of the natives, those great natives, believe that he's immortal. Well, in this case, our Phantom meets a young princess, beautiful girl, and she falls sort of in love with him, and she wonders who he is. She sends her to Wayne out into the jungle. The woman comes back and says, "Oh, he has the strength of 10 tigers and the wisdom of owls," they told me. "He's also 400 years old." She said, "Oh, that's ridiculous. He's as strong as him." He said, "No. I met this old man whose grandfather saw him, his great-grandfather saw him," so forth. She's so silly. That night, the joke is coming. Takes time. That night, she's sitting in front of a mirror, brushing her hair, and she's thinking, 400 years old. I'm 22. When I'm 30, he'll be 408. Let's say I use it every 10 years. I'm glad I got a laugh out of you, too. It was a pleasure to meet you, all you men. You're the new generation. You're doing a wonderful job in the books. I see them now and then. And as I said today in a little talk, I've always worked in newspaper and occasionally reprinted in comic books. But it's kind of a parallel universe, the comic books. And all the time the newspaper strips went on, there was another thing growing into a marvelous thing. And the artists and writers in the comic books are just terrific. And the quality of it, and also the remuneration has gone up. In the early days, it wasn't worthwhile, hardly worthwhile doing a comic book because what they paid was so little. They worked so hard. But now, I understand, well, I know that it's very good. I think that's wonderful. So this industry goes on. I looked at the Kansas City Star today, 2 pages of comics. I don't know how many, maybe 2 dozen. So it still goes on. Gentlemen, I thank you very much for having me here. I enjoyed being here. I thank Mike, Bud, and Sporting Life here. And I was a little shocked that Jeremy didn't know who Sporting Life was. You know, Porgy and Bess. He's the bad guy. Sporting and Bess. Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen, and I hope to meet you all again sometime. Well, thank you very much.
In honor of the very first superhero and his 60th year in the business, a little bit of overkill, but we don't mind, to Mr. Lee Falk from us.